What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got we actually got Leonard Ellerbe responding to some choice words of Bill Haney about this whole Devin Haney versus Tank Davis issue. It appears that, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's really getting irritating to me, man. I told you, Tank is my favorite fighter. This is a fight that I really want. Because at this point, I don't even know who would win. Devin Haney looked very wonderful at 140 against Regis Prograis, who fights, doesn't really fight like Tank Davis. Tank Davis is faster on his feet, faster with his hands, but I still think that this makes for a great fight that needs to happen. But I'm gonna let you guys hear what Bill Haney said, and then I'm gonna read the response of Leonard Ellerbe, and of course, I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Well, I'll be damned if the spook by the door, Leonard Ellerbe himself, wants to present some fake numbers to the people. Good brother, the fight and the engagement far exceeded 50,000, 10,000, anything that you can muster up in your fat head to come up with any lie about. Let me explain to you why. Take a look at the analytics, behind the scene, the engagement with the fight. Take a look at the stadium. Take a look at every aspect of the fight, and you'll see that it was a sellout. And only thing that I can see now is another sellout opportunity by the spook by the door to introduce some bogus numbers that cannot be found anywhere. So, Mr. Spook, while you found the numbers, let's not keep them a secret. Tell the people where you found them at. Because other than that, everybody had a wonderful time.
All right, so since then, Leonard Ellerbe has responded in a numerous amount of tweets saying, I was going to leave this alone, but he's crossing the line now. I've been on the record for a while and very complimentary of the wonderful job he's done with his son from the beginning and continues to do a great job. But you're not going to be calling me a liar. You out of line. So basically, speaking on because Leonard Ellerbe is saying that Devin Haney, they only did 50,000 pay-per-view buys. Bill Haney, they're saying that they're lying, that they don't have their numbers correct. Leonard Ellerbe says, since you're new to the pay-per-view game, let me educate you on a little something. You or nobody else can make an offer to Tank Davis. Remember, you're the opponent. That's how it works. I'm not going back and forth about this nonsense. And so basically he's saying Tank Davis is the A side. You can't offer the A side anything. We make the offers, all right? Now, Leonard Ellerbe then said, numbers never lie. The numbers will always tell a true story. The business will always dictate the current market value. Always, all right? Then he says, the public decides who the star is. Tank is a star, period. The public decides their current commercial value. The public decided their current commercial value is 50,000 pay-per-view buys in the last fight. He had a very good gate at 1.7 million. In what universe does someone think they can call the shots? Can't fool the public. So basically saying his numbers aren't as high as Tank. So how do you call the shots and dictate anything? If anyone wants to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, it will always be on his terms. This is simple business, not personal. All right. And then he says, I've said all along fights are made when it makes sense for both sides. Fighters aren't scared, but the business has to make sense. And offered would be insulting, but the business dictates those things, not egos. That's how it works. You will get paid what you weigh for big fights. Facts. All right, he says, I'll say it again, the guy who brings the business will always dictate terms. That's how business works. I guess he said that again. Don't know why, but all right. Then he goes to say, in my opinion, what they did at the Live Gate is a good piece of business, but Tank is operating on an entire different level. You can't dictate terms to the guy who's bringing the business. They are used to dictating terms, which is cool, but you can't do that with Tank. So basically what they're saying is you can't offer us or you can't, because Dev said that he's not fighting. The fight has to be at 140. They're saying no, Tank determines everything. You don't determine that. He goes to say Floyd wanted the Oscar fight so bad, so he had to take what he offered. We told him he has to accept his terms or no fight. At that time, he wasn't in the position to dictate terms. No one. Oscar was the big pay-per-view star at the time, and look how things turned out. So basically, using the Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya fight as an example, I'll touch on that after these, all right? Then he says, rewind back to 2007. Can you imagine Floyd attempted to dictate terms with Oscar? Again, I'll break that down so you guys can understand what he's talking about, all right? He said, he sure did, and that's what happened. I guess he was responding to somebody. Oscar was the guy at that time. Floyd was like, F it, that effort can't beat me. When I beat that beat, them tables will turn. I'm going to do whatever I need to do, just get him in the ring. Quote, and the rest is history. So basically saying, speaking on the terms, again, with Floyd Mayweather. And again, I'll speak on that. Let me just read these tweets, all right? And it says, I like the fact that they did a good gate, which is very hard to do. He's a very good young fighter, and that has to continue putting on great performances to build what he is doing. He's on the right track, but it's a process, and it does not happen overnight, all right? All right, so next I want to share a picture. Shout out to 78 Sports TV. He is the one that posted this, and I wanted to just read you guys some things that you know, it just after everything that Leonard Ellerbe said. Now listen to this, right? Look at this, right? Now obviously Ryan Garcia is a big star, so I'm not going to include him in this, but it is facts that he has never been on pay-per-view or anything like that before a Tank Davis fight. But let's talk about Hector Garcia, who that's not a big name. Like his last fight was on an undercard, but fights with that with Chris Colbert was in a venue with like 4,000 or 5,000 people. How is it that it's okay to make a fight with it? It makes businesses to make fights with guys like him, but not Tank. What's his name? Rolly Romero just fought this old dude in May in a venue about 5,000 people. Isaac Cruz, he's been fighting on undercards before and after he fought Tank, but they made that. Mario Barrios, never been on pay-per-view. Like it doesn't make sense to me, and this is kind of irritating me about what they continue to do to not make a fight with Devin Haney. Now again, everybody knows Tank Davis is my favorite fighter. I like Tank. I'm more of a Tank fan than I am a fan of Devin. I love Tank a lot more. I'll be rooting for Tank. But at this point, I don't know who wins that fight. But what I do know is, bro, these guys that Tank are working with, Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather, they're keeping Tank away from greatness, bro. And that's the whole issue with everything that's going on. How is it that it made sense to make fights with Isaac Cruz, a guy that, bro, nobody really, some of the hardcore, I knew about Isaac Cruz, but, bro, some of the hardcore boxing fans didn't really know much about Isaac Cruz before he fought Tank Davis, bro, and then they put that on pay-per-view. How did that make sense? Or you have Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia. How in the world does it make sense to put Tank versus Hector Garcia on pay-per-view? This dude, Hector Garcia, just fought on somebody's undercard. Bro, Isaac Cruz is still fighting on undercards. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Rolly Romero, how does that make sense, bro? Like, Rolly Romero just, like, dude, his last fight was at a small venue that held up to like 5,000 people. How does it make sense to make fights with all these guys, and yet you don't want to make a fight with with Devin Haney, who just did 16,000 fans or whatnot, bro? It doesn't make sense to me, and it's irritating because it's like, bro, this is the big fight that everyone wants. Now, you can't sit here because Devin Haney recently made a statement saying, like, bro, I'm not fighting at 135. If the fight happens, it has to be at 140. So Leonard Ellerbe wants to sit here and say you can't dictate the terms. Bro, it has no choice but to be at 140. Devin Haney tried to make a fight with Tank Davis at 135. He even stated that that's the only fight. When he was killing himself, he was still saying, I will fight Tank Davis when Devin Haney had all the belts. And you guys didn't want to fight him, bro. So why would Devin Haney go back to 135 after establishing himself well at 140? It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, I get what Leonard Ellerbe was saying about Mayweather. Yes, when Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya, Mayweather did have to had to abide by all of Oscar De La Hoya's demands, right? They had to do it at Oscar De La Hoya's weight at 154, a weight that Floyd never fought at. They gave Floyd Mayweather 10-ounce heavyweight gloves. So Floyd couldn't even pick his gloves or whatnot. Floyd had to abide by all that. He was the B-side. But the thing about that is Floyd still, and that's cool, and that, you know, Floyd did what he had to do. But Tank Davis is not doing the numbers that Oscar De La Hoya was doing, bro. This is not a long stretch. And then besides that, bro, Devin Haney has a better resume than Tank Davis. And I'm saying all this again, and I have to reiterate, I'm rooting for Tank to beat Devin Haney. Now, I don't know if that's gonna happen based off of how Devin Haney look. Although that Tank is a lot better than what Regis is. Tank is more athletic, better on his feet, and more fast. So I don't think that Devin Haney would have the time like with Tank that he did with Regis. But I'm saying though, that is a very good fight that needs to be made. But you're not allowing Tank to be great. Once again, Tank even stated in the matter of fact, I'm gonna try to find that video and post it on here where Tank stated that he'll move up to 140. Why can't this fight be made? This is a big fight. Both fighters big. You can't compare Tank to Oscar De La Hoya because Oscar De La Hoya was breaking, like Oscar De La Hoya was selling 1 million pay-per-views. Tank just sold 1 million pay-per-views with Ryan Garcia. That's it. All right, so let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna put this video, I'm gonna find this video with Tank saying that he'll move up to 140. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know your opinion on this. But what do I know?
We already ready to go to 40, bro. We already ready to go to 40, bro. We already ready to go to 40, bro.